What's the biggest example of from genius to idiot has there ever been? Linus Pauling. He went from being a preeminent chemist and biochemist to a quack who wrote books claiming that megadoses of vitamin C cured all disease and was the key to an insanely long life. John McAfee. Not sure of the genius part, but the downfall was legendary. He wrote and marketed the first commercial antivirus software after cutting teeth at NASA, Univac, and Xerox as a coder. Might have peaked around $100 million. Then he sold his stake, told everyone to uninstall his company's product, retired, got into recreational drugs, lost tens of millions, possibly murdered a man in Belize, probably fucked a literal whale, ran for president of the US, and then was arrested in Spain for US tax evasion and then either killed himself or was murdered. Don't understand how Sam Bankman-Fried isn't on this list yet. Dude was in magazines being called a prophet and genius, turns out he was just a fucking idiot the whole time. I think Steve Jobs was a marketing and sales genius. Then when it came to his treatable cancer, well, I wouldn't call him an idiot, but he placed his faith in the wrong person and his I always win attitude cost him his life. He was unlucky to get cancer, but lucky that it was treatable at the stage it was discovered. But he ignored his doctors and thought that changing his diet would heal him. Thomas Midgley. All his inventions were thought to be great contributions to mankind until we found out they were dumping crazy amount of toxins into the atmosphere and burning a hole in the ozone layer. Charlie Gordon from Flowers for Algernon. Elizabeth Holmes, founder of Theranos. Rudy Giuliani. Not really genius, but highly respected in terms of going from being nearly universally well regarded to an absolute joke. He's definitely up there. Linus Pauling, Nobel Prize in Chemistry, Peace Nobel Prize, after that decided to dedicate himself to eating as much vitamin C as possible. The Perfect Crime by Leopold and Leob. At my university we had a Harvard-educated ER physician ruin his career and go to prison because he was hiding cameras in employee bathrooms. I think that qualifies LOL. Al Capone, legendary gangster, died of syphilis with the brain age of a child. Sometimes karma does happen. Rudy Giuliani went from perceived hero of New York and 9/11 to a leaking meme in front of Four Seasons landscaping. Ben Carson, world-acclaimed neurosurgeon and believer that the pyramids of Egypt were built to store grain. Napoleon. Steamrolls Europe 6 times and suddenly forget logistics and diplomacy where and when it matters the most. Gonna put 2 out there I haven't seen yet. Scott Adams. While genius is a stretch, he was a successful cartoonist for years until his politics started coming out, and then the racist comments. Everyone thought he was taking on big business, then it all came tumbling down. Second, and in a similar vein, the YouTuber Illuminati. Built up an audience by criticizing shady business practices, turned out to be a horrible person who was guilty of shady business practices. Elon Musk comes to mind immediately. Well, he was probably an idiot the whole time, but he had the veneer of a genius for a while. John Harvey Kellogg. Nutritionist, inventor of corn flakes. Then decided that being a eugenicist was better. Oh, and decided that women's clitorises should be burned off with acid or removed altogether. I don't need to say this one. I'll just leave an X in the spot instead. I got brain damage a quarter of the way through my college degree. Does that count? Rudy Giuliani went from the man who saved NYC, to 9/11 America's mayor to henchman's sidekick a la Renfield or Igor overnight. Like Musk, he never was truly a genius, but Steve Jobs dying of preventable cancer because he got high off of his own farts is iconic. Jeremy from Top Gear in the episode that he tied the log to the back of his car to traverse a tough road. Very quickly after mentioning his own genus, the log kicked up off a rock or something and shattered his back window. Edit, of course I know is not serious. The show is basically a comedy show. And 80 of what he says is dripping with sarcasm. You'll need to chill TF out. Steven Seagal. He bullshitted his way to the top, fake it till you make it genius. Got into a fight and shit himself, literally idiot. Maybe not the biggest, but Ben Carson should be on this list somewhere. Gerald Ratner. Tyrion Lannister from seasons 1-4 to 5-8. He was alright in 5-6, but I don't know what happened to him afterwards. Honestly, may get downvoted for this, but Hitler was a genius in how he took power, then achieved total domination over Germany and brainwashed his people into committing the worst genocide in history. Then the idiot lost World War II in spectacular fashion, invading the USSR, and fighting the Western Allies at once. Also, the dude was an evil psychopath, but even evil people can still be geniuses as well as idiots. Mac has the answer to this one. He knows who the stupid science bitches are who made everyone on Earth look like a bitch again. The Game of Thrones showrunners are one of the most drastic examples out there. Kanye. Bobby Fischer, he was really mentally unwell if you read his story, and it's sad. He went loopy. I feel he blamed the Jews and said weird stuff about 9/11 and many other claims. He was a chess genius though, and it's been decades since I have read the book about him, but think he was Jewish himself. I'll go check wiki. Elon Musk was always an idiot with a lot of loud fanboys, but the general public perception of him has certainly swung from genius to idiot with remarkable speed the last few years. Those who say Musk are completely wrong. He was never a genius. Dane Cook. Went from selling out stadiums and Hollywood movies to bring busted stealing jokes and generally hated. The answer is Elon Musk. Steve Jobs opting to eat fruits to treat his cancer instead of chemo is probably a very close second. The opinion on Trump seemed to go from funny rich celeb to holy shit, this guy is an idiot Hitler overnight. Russell Brand in 2015 was voted Prospect's fourth most influential thinker in the world, now is accused of multiple sexual assaults and is a rabid conspiracist. Ashton Kutcher and the whole character reference for Danny Master something. Dumb move. Luke Montagnier discovered his genius and promoted homeopathy and anti-vax theories, idiot. Lance Armstrong. I once really looked up to him. Now, he is still a great cyclist, but a bit of